joining us for the first time, you took us in the middle of a course. We're doing a course on measurement. So we're going to be looking at, if anybody wants to venture a definition for volume, please go ahead and tell us what you think volume is in the chat. Okay, I want to hear, because remember we said, we were talking about the area in the last lesson. We said that area, if we have a full shape, the area is the shape, or the space inside our 2D shape. So, what would volume then be equal to? Okay, sure, Mukundo, I like that one. Good, begins like it's the amount of space in an area, okay? If we say an area, it might be a little, okay. Might be a little fishy, but okay. The amount a shape can occupy. Okay, Lulu, I need somebody to be a little bit more specific than that. Hello, Princess. Isabel, we do quiz results on Wednesday. So you need to be here on Wednesday so we can do that. Okay. All right. So I've said a very important word when I spoke about the area. What kind of shape can we calculate for the area for? What kind of shape have I drawn here? Correct. We just did that. Let me go back. Let me see. There. Yes. Good. That's the operative word that we're looking for, Abigail. Amazing. Excellent. Okay. So if I'm calculating for the area, what kind of shape have I drawn here? What kind of shape are we looking at exactly over here? This shape is a 2D shape. This is a 2D shape, right? So when we talk about the volume, we're actually talking about, yes, the rectangle, correct. But it's a 2D shape, and I feel like I'm lagging each and every. And I think the reason is because it's raining really hard where I am right now. So my my connection might not be that great. Like people are hearing me in the voice. All right. So when you talk about calculating for calculating for the area, we are looking at the area in a shape. When we talk about volume, what kind of shapes are we going to calculate the volume? They're not going to be 2D, I can tell you that. What kind of shapes are we looking for? Anybody? Good. The cube is one of them. Correct. That's it, Mawanda and Josh. That's it. Slender shapes. No, not slender shapes. 3D shapes. Correct. Like a cylinder. Oh, they were trying to say cylinder. Yes. Correct. So volume is 3D shapes. It's for 3D shapes. We calculate the amount of space that we have inside of a 3D shape. Does anybody know a different name for volume? When we look at how much liquid a 3D shape can actually hold, who knows what it's called? When we look at, let's say if we have like a glass, when we fill the glass with water, what do we call it? Oh, Lulu, very, very close. That's it. Yes, that's it, Pilani. Yes, Kila, that's it. Correct. It's called capacity. Okay. And capacity and volume work very close together. All right. So we're going to be looking at the volume of shapes today. I've conveniently gotten this. I think I may have made it too big. I just want you guys to be able to take a screenshot of this. Okay, there we go. So this is the formula for volume. So you guys can take a screenshot of this very quickly. Let me just make sure that you guys can see everything. So I need to make it smaller. Okay, let's see. All right, there we go. Okay, we can all take a screenshot. We've got 5 seconds. Well, let's make it 10 while I quickly check on Slate Queen. You guys have a few seconds to do that. Slate Queen, how are you doing?
I'm good, girl. Do I have some tea for you today? Oh my gosh, it is piping hot.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to park the tea because you're going to derail me completely. And me, I love other people's drama. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't say that out loud. I don't say that out loud. I'm gonna catch up with you, but like if we're going to get into it, I need it to not happen like mid sum, because then I'm never going to be able to concentrate on what's happening. But Tina, I'm also kind of just like, and the fact that I even have a teacup, the fact that I'm even like,
Oh, it's like you
still, no,
knew.
still.
It's like you knew.
I'm so glad you're doing a little bit better today. I just knew that it was coming. I knew it was coming. But I'm very glad to see you in a bit of a better mood today. We were very worried about you, I'll tell you. We were like, yeah, no, we must stage a rescue mission. No, sleeping, this is not. But I'm glad you're feeling a lot better today, sweetie. All right,
Thank you so much,
ready?
man.
Are we ready to get into the math? We're ready to get into the math. I'm glad to hear from you always. And I'm glad today, like, in a cheery mood. And I'm waiting for the tea. Now I have to finish my lesson a little bit earlier so that I can hear the tea. Should I be doing this on Eric's time? I don't know if that's allowed. But I want the tea. We're going to come back to it. Okay, Vasili.
God, it is piping hot.
Look, I'm away for it. It's coming. Look, okay, guys, let's hurry up this lesson, guys. I have things to, Stephen and I have things to discuss. Okay. All right, let's get into today's lesson. Okay, I hope everybody's taken a screenshot of this. Okay. I want you guys to also note that for any prism that we have, right? If we ever come across a question where they ask us to calculate for the volume of a prism, okay, the volume of a prism, we can just as easily calculate this as the area of my base multiplied by my height. Okay. So it's not going to work the same for questions that are like pyramids, where like things have, they all go towards an apex. Those kinds of things won't work. But if we're calculating for the volume of maybe a cube, I know that the base of my cube is a square. So I can calculate for the base of my cube, I can calculate for the base of my square, the area of the base, right? It's just going to be side times side. And then I'm going to multiply it by the height, the L of my shape. Same with a rectangular prism. I know that the base of my shape is a rectangle. So I'm going to calculate for the rectangular base. We know the volume, we know the area of a rectangle, length times breadth. And then we're just going to multiply by the perpendicular height. Same with a cylinder, because it is a prism, right? A cylinder, we're going to calculate for the area of the base, which is a circle, and we know how to calculate the area of a circle, and then we're just going to multiply that by that. Okay, so all of that we can do with prism. Now, when it comes to things like pyramids, things that go towards an apex, like that with an apex, there's always going to be a third that's been taken off. So the volume is always going to be 1/3 multiplied by the area of the base. But we will be, even if they ask this in a test or an exam, they're going to give you the formula. So don't stress too much. They're kind of obligated as the teachers to give you the formula. They can't just be like, no, we're not going to give you the formula. They have to. All right, okay, let's get into some of these questions, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get really, it's going to be quite simple to answer these questions. Then I ask you guys to calculate the volume. We're not doing surface area today. I want you guys to do volume for me. Okay, calculate for the volume of each of the following cuboids. Once you are done calculating for the volume of these two shapes, I want you to put your favorite emoji in the chat for me. Okay. I'll give everybody like 2-3 minutes, because it shouldn't take that long for us to calculate for the volume here. Mawande, that was like 3 seconds, dude. But also I agree. Yes. But also, yes. Yeah, teacher now I'm like, hi. Yeah, okay, fair. But Mawande, why would you need a calculator for such a question? How? Why would we need a calculator for such a question? Oh, Namfundo, I love the unicorn. Okay, clearly you guys didn't need 2 minutes. I could have given you guys 30 seconds. We would have been perfectly fine. Okay, let's wait for a couple more and then we'll get started. Ivan, where do you even get that emoji? What does it even mean? What does it even mean? It is cubed, Mawanda, and we're going to speak about why it's cubed just now. Isabel. Isabel just leaving poopy emojis on our chat. All right, okay, that's time, peeps. Let's have a quick conversation about this part over here. Okay, so if we calculate for the volume here, because this is a prism, we can calculate for the area of the base multiplied by the height. Okay, so we can go 2 centimeters times 8 centimeters times 6 centimeters. Now, if I calculate for the area, the volume of this, I'm going to go 2 times 8 times 6, which is going to give me, if I'm not mistaken, 96. Yes, teacher Nels, 96, 16 times 6.
Yes.
96, correct. All right, 96, right. Now, if we want to find out our dimensions, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the area. Centimeters times centimeters times centimeters is going to give us centimeters cubed. Just like if I had x and x and x, I would go x times x times x would give me x cubed. We're going to do the same thing with the centimeters as well. Centimeters, centimeters, centimeters is equal to centimeters cubed. All right, that's the first one. That's number one. Let's look at B. Okay, B, we're going to do the exact same thing. Right, we're going to go 5. Oops, I forgot to write B equals. Volume equals 5 meters times 4 meters times 7 meters, which is equal to 140. And then again, meters times meters times meters would give us meters cubed. Okay, guys, be careful. It's meters, not centimeters this time, ne? Meters. So we must say meters cubed. All right. Don't forget the unit of measurement, guys. I'm starting us off nice and easy because the stuff, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. All right. Let's look at the following. Right. Now, this one here says, calculate the volume, and it says correct to 3 significant figures. So you need to give us 3 numbers. Okay, I'm going to explain what 3 significant figures means in just a second, but we're not calculating for the total surface area. We're calculating for the volume. Now, in this case, guys, we are going to use the volume of a prism. Okay, so we know that the volume of a prism is going to be the area of base multiplied by the height. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up for like 3 seconds. You've got 3 seconds, guys. You should be. I'm tender. Oh, thank you. Yes, Mfundo, you can. Oh, I'm sorry, princess. Oh, sorry. No, Sinako, you don't have to know them off by heart. Okay. In most things, they will give you the formulas. Maybe your teachers might not be nice and they'll just decide, nah, we don't want to give them the formulas. But mainly they would. They normally do give us the formula, so don't even stress about it. Okay. All right. So what shape is my base, guys? What shape is my base? If I look at the cylinder, what shape makes up my base? Correct, Vasha. Beautiful, good. Now, lady, your teachers are not nice. Correct. So we know that the area of our base is going to be the area of a circle. So we're going to say volume is equal to the area of the base. We know that the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared, and then we're going to multiply that by the perpendicular height. Right. So, okay, let's do that quickly. We're going to go pi times my radius, which is 8, all squared, multiplied by my height, which is also 8. So we're going to have pi times 8 squared times 8. Give me an answer in the chat, guys. Sure, Anuchita, that was super fast. Okay, good. 1608.5. And because again, we're calculating volume, that's going to be centimeters cubed. All right. All right. I want you guys to try this next one over here that they've given us. Okay, just as easily, the volume is equal to pi, the area of the base, which is also a circle. So area of base multiplied by the height. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing. We know that our base is a circle, so we're going to have pi times radius squared multiplied by height. Okay. Right, Naledi, good work. Excellent. Pop your answers in the chat, guys. We're going to keep moving. Okay, good. So the answer we should get for the volume here is 502.7 centimeters cubed. Correct, centimeters cubed. All right. I know. For one, some of these people are like they're like computers. They're so fast. They're so fast. Even me, I'm stealing their answers. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also not calculating. I'm just stealing your guys' answers. Okay, Abigail, let's talk about this. All right. So when they say 3 significant figures, okay, when they say 3 significant figures, what they actually mean is if there are any decimals in our answer. No, again, it's not. Okay. Right. What they actually want from us is to look at all the numbers that we have and make sure that only 3 of them actually, in essence, we shouldn't actually include the 0.5 or the 0.7. Okay. So all significant figures, guys, are numbers that are not 0. Okay. Those are our 3 significant figures. So in the case of this first answer over here, we should not get 1608.5 because this is the 4th significant figure. So what we need to do, yes, correct, they would. So what we need to do is actually round this number up in order to get it to 3 significant figures. Okay, so if I had to round this number up, guys, what answer would I get here? Patience, what's up?
Ma'am, can I ask, on the B cylinder,
Hello, my sweetie, what's up?
our aspect, is it 10, are we using 4 centimeter SR or 10 SR? Ma'am, I can't hear you.
It has to be 4, my sweetie, because 10 is the height.
Do you
Can you
use
not hear
4?
me?
Ma'am, can you repeat again?
Hello?
Can you repeat again?
Yes, we use 4. We use 4, my sweetie.
Okay, ma'am, thanks.
Teacher Nels, can you hear me? You
Yes.
just nod. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Because I
thanks.
feel like it was lagging a little bit. Okay. Sorry, patience. Yeah, I figured, guys. I'm very sorry. I'm gonna switch my camera off, Teacher Nels. Okay. Because yeah, I think the network where I am, guys, it's raining hard. So let us stop video. Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you guys one more time. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me properly. Please give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me properly.
This video is
Okay, excellent. Okay, cool. All right, let's continue. All right, so in this case, we know that our three significant figures are going to be our 1, 6, our, and this number would then have to change to 9. So the answer here needs to be 1609 centimeters. Okay. Now, because the 0 is not affected by what happens with the 5, we're not going to include it as a significant figure in this case. It is in the 10th position, yes, but we want that 0 not to affect any of the numbers above it. The numbers below it, that's fine because it won't change the 0 number. Okay, so in this case over here, we cannot move the 0, but so 0 is going to be our significant figure. We can't, yes, correct, Mawandi. That's the answer. So we cannot move the 0 from where it is, and it cannot affect the 5. It's only going to affect, or the only thing that's going to affect 2 is the 7 over here. So if we have to approximate our three significant figures, that's going to be 5, 0, and that 2 over there will have to change to a 3. So the answer we will get over here is 503 into 2. Okay. All right. Are we ready to try? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to try something a little bit more challenging. Yes, because I feel like we've just been in jail. Calculator work. Let's do something. Let's do something, Yana and Jay. Yeah, let's move. Let's move. Okay, let's look at these shapes over here. Deepa's like, wait, man, please explain again. Okay. So, Deepa, our significant figures, right? When they say significant figures, we are looking for numbers that would still kind of give us the answer that we want in this particular, in the case of the questions that we've got here, right? So now, if we look at this number over here, if we look at the answer that we've got over here, okay, so look at the answer that we've got over here. Our significant figures should technically be 1608, right? So this 5 over here cannot be included in our significant figures because it only doesn't really add to the answer that we're looking for. So we need to use that 5 to round this number up. The 0 is not going to affect any of the other numbers because the 0 is just sitting in the 10th place. Okay. Yes, Isabel, I understand, but because this number is in the thousands place, we can't get rid of the 0. Do you understand what I mean? So I can't just decide no more 0. That's not how it works. Okay. I need to consider that number. I need to consider that last number as well. Okay. Kyle, are you following me? Please let me know in the chat. All right. So we do not need this. This then becomes a 5th significant figure, and we can't do that. We also cannot move the 0 because the 0 is sitting in the 10th place. Okay, so the only thing we're going to do is we're going to remove that last significant figure by rounding up. Okay. So now I'm sounding too soft, and my volume is like way up there. All right, sure. I'm sorry, Sianda, if you can't hear me. All right. In this case over here, if we look at this next number over here, this 0 is also sitting in the 10th place. So we can't get rid of it. But we need 3 significant figures. So this 7 is going to change the 2 into a 3, and that's going to give us the 3 significant figures that we need. Okay, for those of you who are still confused, can I ask for a thumbs up if you understand? Or you can even write, no, ma'am, explain again. I'm happy to. Okay. Cool beans. Okay, excellent. Cool stuff. All right, let's look at the following shapes because now things are going to get a little bit funky. Okay, Stephen, I'm going to explain again. Let me just get through this example and then I'll catch up with you in just. All right. So, here's what's probably going to happen. If we said we wanted to calculate for the volume of this shape over here, I'm going to ask you guys, what is the base shape? What is the base shape of this shape over here, of this prism? What is the base shape? Okay, I figured everybody was going to say rectangle, right? We're all going to say rectangle. Hi, Patience. What's up? Okay, Patience hands us down. Okay, we're going to say that. Hello. Yes. Teacher Nels, can I ask you to look for Patience and just.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, most of you would say correct. Abigail, all of you who said triangle are correct. All right, and let me explain why. Now, if we use the rectangle as our base, then this 7 centimeter is going to be our height, right? But this height only represents one part of our height. What about the height on this side? There's no height on the other side of this shape. So the rectangle at the bottom could not possibly be our base shape because the height that we're using doesn't reflect the height of the whole shape. Give me a thumbs up if what I'm saying makes sense. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if everything I'm saying here about the height makes sense. Okay. Our height, the height of any shape must reflect the height on every side. But this height only reflects the shape on this side. What about the height over here? What about the height over here? What about the height over here? Then all of the heights are not 7 centimeters. Okay, I'm going to explain again. All right. When we look at a shape, the height must be the same on every side. I'm going to ask you guys again, what did I say? When we look at a shape, the height must be the same on which side? Correct, on every side. The height must be the same on all sides, correct, on all sides, right? So if we use the rectangle as our base, we're going to have a problem because this 7 centimeters is only the height of that side of my rectangle. This side of my rectangle doesn't have a height of 7 centimeters. So I cannot use the rectangle as my base. That's not going to work. But I know, guys, if I use my triangle as my base, what's the height of that side over there? What's the height of that side over there? Yes, Anachita, absolutely. It's 12 centimeters, right? And the height of this side over here, also 12 centimeters. And the height of that side over there, also 12 centimeters. So we can't use that part of our rectangle. We can't use the rectangle at the bottom as our base. We're going to have to use our triangle as our base because the height is reflected the same on all sides. Correct, that's it. Because all the heights of all the sides of my triangle will be the same. No, Mawande, and we can't assume that. Okay. I'm gonna try and speak to Patience one more time. Patience, how are you?
Good, are you?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask, can you repeat your question again?
I'm good, thank you. I can hear you. Yes.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. So what I was saying,
Ma'am, I
patience,
can't hear
can you
you.
hear me?
Yes, now I can hear. Ma'am, I can't
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? You okay? I think it's lagging. Okay. Yo. Channels, can we help? Can we help patients with audio, please?
Yeah.
Patience, I'm just going to mute you for a second, my sweetie, just so we can get an idea. Okay, so just so we can hear what's happening. Thank you so much, teacher Nell. Anotida, how are we going to figure out this question that we've got over here, my dude? Anotida, where did you go now?
Here.
Anotida,
Hi.
hello.
How are
Hello.
you?
Okay, let's talk about this. For the base
All right.
shape, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, good. So remember, Anachida, the volume of my shape, volume is going to be the area of my base multiplied by my perpendicular height. How are we going to figure out the area of the base?
Oh, okay. For area of the base, we're just going to use our area of a triangle, which is half base times height.
Good. Half base times height multiplied by the perpendicular height of it. Right.
Yes.
What is the perpendicular height of our triangle?
12 centimeters.
What is the perpendicular height?
Our perpendicular
No,
height.
that's for the shape. We're still looking at the triangle, remember? We're
Oh.
looking at the triangle. What's the
Oh,
perpendicular
our
height?
height. Oh, yes, it's 7. That you're talking about the outside perpendicular. Okay, 7. 7 is our perpendicular height.
Right. 7. So our base is 2.5 and our height for the triangle is
7.
7. Right. So we're going to go half of 2.5 times 7. We're going to multiply that by the height of the shape
12.
itself, which is
12 centimeters.
what is the height of the whole prism? 12. Correct. Give me an answer. Give me an answer, please.
All right, so our full answer here is just going to be 105 centimeters cubed.
Uh, 305 centimeters cubed.
No, 105 centimeters cubed.
105 centimeters cubed. Very much. Yeah. Okay, let's just make sure everybody understands why we are using the triangle as the base. Do you agree with me, Anakita, that this rectangle, right? In order for us to use the rectangle, we would need another rectangle on the top.
Yes, do agree.
Right. So we need a base that is reflected on both the top and the bottom of my shape. Which shape is reflected on the top and on the bottom? Which shape can we see on the particular prism? Which shape is exactly the same? The two of them, they're exactly the same.
Yeah, see that there.
Give you a hint. This is one of them. Triangle and
Triangle. Both sides. And
triangle over there, right? Correct. So our base needs to be something that is the same on both sides of our. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm losing people. Or is it just my connection today? Sure. Yeah,
well,
I can't,
yeah, a little bit. It's like you're breaking up here.
I can't hear you at all. I'm very sorry. Oh no. Okay. Let me just double check something quickly.
Oh well, that sucks.
Oh,
Anyways,
this is
should I just go off?
Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, figured.
Okay, good. Sorry, I realized I'm still on the school Wi-Fi. My own. So yeah, that's why it's much better because I'm using my own now. Okay, all right. Thank you, Anatita, for answering this question. Do you understand why we pick the triangle as our base?
Yes.
That lag is going to kill us today. All right, so let's look at this next shape over here, guys. What is going to be the base shape for this one? What is the base shape over here? Let me know in the chat. Yes, Mawan, I'm going to explain. Snake Queen, what's up? I see your hand.
Girl, you
Okay.
you lost me. Like you lost
Yes.
me. Like, oh, you like I'm not even joking right now. Like
All
two
right.
questions.
Okay.
Like you literally lost me.
All right. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at it this way. Like if I drew, let's say
A
I'm drawing a
cylinder.
cup, right? If I'm drawing a cup, do you agree that my base shape, yeah, it's a cylinder. Yes, my base shape is a circle, correct?
Mhm,
Right.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
I want to calculate for the volume of this shape, imagine if the shape was cut like this. Would I be able to say that this height represents this height also?
Yes.
Would my
Yes.
shape be able to represent this height? Let's say this height is like 5 centimeters. If this side is 5 centimeters, does this height also represent the height on this side?
Yes. Oh no.
Look at how my
No,
shape
it
is. My
doesn't.
shape goes down like that.
Yes, that's a diagonal. No,
it
it doesn't.
Because there's no 5 centimeters up here. There's no 5
Yeah.
right. It's a diagonal. So we can't do that, right? So when we pick our base shape, the height that comes from our base shape must be the same on both sides of my shape. Am I making sense? So if we look at the first shape that we had over here, if I use my rectangle as my base, do you notice that the 7 centimeters is only reflective of this side of my shape?
Yes.
Does it reflect this side of my shape as well?
No.
How? When there's a diagonal. There's a diagonal, right? So the height of 7 centimeters is not going to apply on this side. Do you see that?
Yeah, girl, you are. Ooh. Yeah.
Are we in agreement there?
I think so. I don't know. Like I'm trying to connect dots.
The easier way to look at it. Okay, the easier way to look at it. The easier way to look at it is if I have a shape that is replicated at the top, my shape, and at the bottom of my shape, that is my base. Okay, do you understand what I mean? So now if we try and use the rectangle, I have a rectangle at the bottom. Do I have a rectangle at the top?
Imaginary, yes, but no, like you know, if we're talking, yeah, no,
in real life,
no.
not imaginary. In actual life, is there a rectangle at the top? No,
oh no, there's no rectangle.
So we can't use the rectangle as our base because there isn't another rectangle. Right. There's no other rectangle at the top. The only shape that is replicated at the top and at the bottom is the triangle. You see that?
Yes, I got.
Yes?
I got.
Okay. So now let's look at it. Do you understand why now I'm saying, can we use this rectangle over here as our base?
Okay. Okay.
Can we use the rectangle at the bottom as our base?
No, we can't.
Because
we can't.
Up top here, there's no other rectangle. We can't because there's no top rectangle, right? Which shape has a bottom and at the top?
The rectangle, ma'am.
The rectangle is only.
No, not the rectangle, the triangle. Oh my gosh. Oh,
yes,
oh my gosh.
The triangle. There's a triangle at the top and there's a triangle at the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
Our base shape has to be the one that is reflected at the top and at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, I got.
What I mean. So we can't use the rectangle at the bottom because there's only one rectangle. So the height won't reflect all of them. But if we use the triangle, all the points of my triangle, that one and that one and that one, they all have a height of 6 meters. Are you seeing
Okay.
that? So
Yeah.
that's why we're going to use the triangle as the
Our
base.
base and our thingy, our top and our base.
Correct. Right. Just like if we had a cylinder, Slay Queen, if we have a circle at the top and a circle at the bottom, they will have the same height. Yes. So we can use the circle as our base multiplied by the height. Right?
Okay.
If it's slant, if we use that slant example that ma'am just did, like that, do I have a circle at the top and at the bottom?
No, we don't.
We don't. So can we use the circle as our base?
No, we cannot.
All right. I hope that made sense. Are we okay with that?
Yes, ma'am. So wait, did we, so like it's laying on its side, right? So did we just like put it upright and then like just like went with it from there?
Exactly. It's just like picking it up and putting the rectangle and the triangle on the table. That's all we're going to do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay,
And
I got it.
triangle, there's going to be a bottom and there's going to be a top. Amen. That's all. Okay, so if we want to calculate the volume, we're going to go volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. What shape is our base?
It is a triangle, girl.
Good. And what is the area of a triangle?
Yeah, chat.
Half of the...
Girl, you are, ooh.
Aibo, guys, help her out. There we go. Half of the base.
Base times height.
Times height. Correct. That is just for our triangle. And then we still need to multiply that by the height of the whole prism. The height that they all share. What height do they all share? Each side of my triangle. Which length do they all share?
4 centimeters.
Okay, 4 centimeters is triangle.
Oh, 6 meters. Sorry, 6 meters.
Meters, yes, they all share the 6 meters. So my height of the shape itself will be 6 meters. Now we can calculate for the area of our triangle. I know that my base is going to be 3 meters. What is the perpendicular height of my triangle going to be?
4 meters.
Correct. Yes, 4 meters.
Yes.
So we're going to half of 3 times 4. That's for our base. Multiplied by the height of the whole thing, which is 6 meters. All right. And we're just going to punch that into a calculator and it's going to give us an answer. Yeah. What are we going to get?
36.
36 what?
Meters squared.
Oh, not squared. What are we calculating for?
Cubed.
Yes, correct. Cubed. All
Love
right.
the chat. The chats are my favorite people right now. Well, I'm gonna have to pull out a calculator this whole lesson.
Exams. We mustn't rely too heavily on the chat.
Ooh.
But very, very well done, Slay Queen. I just need to ask one more time before I let you go.
Okay, girl.
Do you understand why we are using the triangle as our base?
Yes, I do.
Beautiful.
I do.
100%.
I might just use it in a test because it's like much more easier.
It is, right? Than having to always ask for can I get the formula, ma'am? Can I get the formula? That time you don't know what the formula. Volume
don't even know how to use the formula in general.
Girl, we gotta learn. Like I said, we can't run away from this. It's also at Maths Lit. So
Yo, Jesus. Amen.
So you can't go.
And I'm writing my test on Wednesday. I'm just not okay.
You're gonna be fine. Don't stress about it. It's not that deep. I promise. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Slay Queen. I just want to address something very quickly before we continue with the lesson. All right. So I hear some of you asking me, what does perpendicular height of a rectangle mean? So let's talk about this. Of a triangle, sorry. If they give us a triangle that looks like this, Okay, if my triangle looks like this, and they tell me that my base is 10 centimeters, right? If I want to calculate the area of this triangle, and they tell me that this side over here is 13 centimeters, right? If I want to calculate the area of my triangle, right? The calculation for the area of a triangle says half base times height. Okay, now this h over here, this h that we're talking about over here is the perpendicular height. Perpendicular height. Okay, so we can't just say half of 10 times 13. No, what we want from that is we're going to draw a line from the apex down like this, like that. This is my perpendicular height. That is the perpendicular height. Okay, so I can't use 13. Now, what I'm going to have to do, because this question, I mean, this triangle as isosceles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into bits and pieces. I'm going to first go, this side over here is equal to 5 centimeters, right? And this is now a right angled triangle. How are we going to calculate for h, guys? Isabel, I hadn't even finished my question, and Isabel was already, there we go. Right, correct. We're going to use Pythag. So we're going to go 13 squared minus 5 squared, and that's going to give us the square root of 144, which means our height is actually 12 centimeters. Okay, so our perpendicular height here is going to be 12. We can't decide that we're going to use the slant height. Now, give me a thumbs up if what I've just said makes sense to you guys. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if finding the perpendicular height of a triangle makes sense. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Now let's look at a funky looking triangle, right? What happens, no, let me not use that. If they give us a triangle that is obtuse, if they give us a triangle like this, right? Now, here's the problem I'm going to have. I need a perpendicular height. Let's say this is 3 centimeters. I need a perpendicular height. There is my apex over there, right? If I try to draw a line that goes down like that, that is not a perpendicular height. It's not a perpendicular height. So the only way I'm going to be able to get a perpendicular height is if I draw the line from the apex on the outside of my shape. So I'm going to draw it here. I'm going to answer you just now, Patience. I see you, my sweetie. Give me a second. I'm going to use that part over there. Okay, I need to use this perpendicular height. Okay. Okay, because from the inside of my triangle, I can't draw a perpendicular height. Okay, that's why. On the inside, I can't draw a perpendicular line. So I need to draw my perpendicular line on the outside. Okay, it needs to be here. H. Okay. Jessica, where have I lost you? Patience? What's up, my sweetie?
Can you explain what does perpendicular height mean?
Perpendicular height means if I'm here at the bottom, right? Do you know what perpendicular means? It means 90 degrees. Okay. So if I have my triangle like this, if I draw a line from the middle here, when I draw it to this other side, it must give a 90-degree angle with the other side that we have over there. Okay.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay, good, my sweetie, excellent. Jessica, what's up?
Hi,
Yes.
ma'am. Why is the line on the outside? Because then the inside isn't the same. The line is.
Yes, but what we're looking for, the only thing we're looking for, Jessica, is the distance from the top of my triangle to the bottom of my triangle. That's all we're looking for. Now, if I have to draw this line on the inside, do you agree with me? I'm not going to be able to draw a straight 90-degree, right?
It's going
I'm not
to
going to
be
be able to draw a straight line. So the only place I can do it is on the outside. This is the only place I can do it on this particular triangle. Okay.
Ma'am, if the asker is this in a test, ma'am, and they say you need to draw it, do you need to be, what formula are we going to use if we're going to use, if the
It's
answer,
always
if the answer
perfect.
is?
Okay, so here's what they will do. They will do this. Okay, let's change the dimensions a little bit. This will be 5 centimeters, right? And they'll say that our base over here is 6 centimeters. And they tell you that the distance from here to there is 3 centimeters. Now, Jessica, because you've drawn a straight line, what angle do we have over here in this corner here?
A 90 degrees.
It's 90 degrees, correct. Now, if I use my 90-degree angles to find my perpendicular height, what formula can I use there?
We can use the volume.
No, I
GC.
want to calculate for the height. This is a 90-degree triangle. What are we going to use? Check the chat.
Oh, the pi factor.
Right, yes, we're going to use. Okay, so it doesn't matter, even if my triangle looks like this. Okay, if they put my triangle like this, or even if they do it like this, let me draw a kind of weird one like that. The height I'm looking for, Jessica, is from there down like that to there until I have a 90-degree angle like that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Because
now, yes. Because now English, this is maths in English because I have one in Afrikaans. So the words, yes, so it's not the same. So I'm still learning.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my sweetie. Look, if you have any questions, I will try. I'm not very good at Afrikaans, but I'll try and translate.
What's that word that if we use the formula, what is, and so you're just going to use the formula and they're not going to ask anything more in the test, because I struggle sometimes with this. And in the test, I'm blank. I don't understand one thing.
Okay, so in this case, do you agree, Jessica, that this is the long side? This is the long side, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Right,
Yes,
so if we want to find the shorter side, we have to take long side squared minus short side squared to get this short side. Okay.
Shikoko.
You do have to go. I just realized.
But one last question is like the 3 centimeter.
Oh, it was just an example. It's an example. Okay. All right. So we're going to take the 5 squared minus this 3 squared, and that's going to give us the distance of that height. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I understand.